Imagine standing on a quiet shoreline, watching the tide slowly recede. The water pulls back almost imperceptibly, exposing sand and shells that were underwater just moments before. It's a peaceful, natural process. Then, without much warning, a massive wave forms on the horizon and crashes down, rearranging the entire landscape in an instant. This is how financial crises often feel. They arrive with a sudden, shocking force, leaving a trail of wreckage and a chorus of voices proclaiming, "No one could have seen this coming." We are told each crisis is born of new technologies, new markets, and new forms of human ingenuity gone awry. The names change, but the story underneath is the same. The shock and awe are part of the spectacle, but they are also a distraction. If you filter out the noise of panicked news anchors and the jargon of baffled experts, you begin to see a pattern. It is not a complex code or a secret formula, but a simple, repeatable sequence of events. A 9-minute map that charts the course from boom to bust. This map is not about predicting the exact day a market will turn. It is about understanding the fundamental forces that make the system fragile. These forces are not digital algorithms or exotic financial instruments. They are deeply human. They are rooted in how we are paid, how we borrow, and what we choose not to see. A crisis, at its heart, is a catastrophic failure of a system. The system could be the international banking network, a housing market, or even a single over-leveraged company. Systems are pushed to the breaking point by many small, rational mistakes. 3 engines amplify them: misaligned incentives, leverage, and institutional blind spots. The first and perhaps most potent engine of crisis is the misalignment of incentives. It sounds academic, but it's brutally simple. People get paid for short-term gains, even if the long-term costs fall on everyone else. The person lighting the fuse gets the bonus, while someone else absorbs the explosion. Imagine a mortgage broker in 2005. His job is to sign as many loans as possible. He's paid the moment the ink is dry, regardless of whether the borrower can afford it or will default in 2 years. The structure rewards ignoring risk. Rational choice: push more loans, quality be damned. The risk is sold, bundled, shipped to distant investors. Action and consequence are severed. Not just a few villains, it's a system making fragility the logical path. When everyone plays this way, hidden risk mounts. If misaligned incentives load the gun, leverage provides the gunpowder. Leverage uses borrowed money to amplify outcomes. Buy a house with a small down payment. You're using leverage. A small rise can mean massive personal returns. In good times, it feels like a superpower. Markets fall in love with leverage. It fuels the frenzy and a self-reinforcing cycle. The final engine is the failure of the gatekeepers. Regulators, central banks, rating agencies, and corporate risk teams are meant to spot risks and enforce rules. They should be the sober adult in a room drunk on leverage. But institutional blind spots let crises grow. Sometimes rules are weak or riddled with loopholes. Risks migrate to the shadows. Sometimes enforcement withers under regulatory capture. Often blind faith in models built on the past blinds us to new realities. Before 2008, models assumed nationwide housing declines were impossible. They modeled away the very disaster that happened. When the referee sleeps, crisis becomes inevitable. The perfect storm, a case study in collapse. Watch the 3 engines work together. The global financial crisis was built on housing. Perverse incentives paid for volume and short-term profit. Risky loans surged, funded with fragile overnight borrowing. Banks levered to the hilt. Tiny declines became lethal. Watchmen were blind. Easy money, conflicted ratings, and flawed models blessed the boom. A toxic cocktail ticked at the system's core. When prices stopped rising, the structure collapsed. Contagion went global. Collapse follows a predictable rhythm. It starts small. Reality punctures belief. Early mortgage defaults looked contained, but tight linkages spread the crack. Safe assets turned suspect. Fear met leverage. Funding vanished. Forced sales hit empty markets. Fire sales cascaded. Trust evaporated. The plumbing froze. Contagion reached Europe. Panic, bank runs, plunging stocks, flight to cash and bonds. Governments and central banks stepped in after deep damage. You don't need a PhD to see storm clouds gathering. 3 simple signs to watch. 1. Rapid, celebrated debt growth, especially risky debt and borrowing for buybacks. Ask if soaring prices ride real cash or leverage. 2. Misaligned incentives and short-termism. 3. A chorus claiming models eliminate risk. True risk management is humble, not hubristic. When hype swells, pause and consult the map. Who is getting paid? How much is borrowed? Who is checking the math? If this helped you connect dots, share it. Understanding the map is not pessimism, it's realism. Trade fear and surprise for awareness and preparation. Crises recur because human nature endures. The goal isn't no risk, it's a resilient system. Resilience begins with memory. Teach it, demand transparency, and ask tougher questions. Align incentives, support independent regulators, and simplify rules. Test for the worst, not for optics. The best defense is strength built in calm. A little shared knowledge is our most powerful defense.